Hey everybody, this is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine, aka Vulcan Wolverine 2. It is Saturday at about 4:40 p.m. here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I just wanted to jump on and do a live stream for a little while, go through some information about contact tracing, which looks a whole lot like what targeted individuals have been going through for years and years and years. Another version of gang stalking being rolled out to the public. We're going to kind of see how this live stream goes because my attackers are just hacking into my computer and they're really slowing down Zoom. I wanted to show you guys some videos, and welcome to anybody coming into chat. I'm going to open up my window there, turn off the sound to my video. Welcome to anybody coming in. We're going to see how this goes. Because my attackers are just like freezing up my Zoom, and I want to show you guys videos. It's probably going to be choppy, but we'll just do our best. We'll push through it. Hey, Tanya. Tanya says, hello, Kyle. Great to see you. It's great to see you too. I hope everybody's doing okay. I know things are really rough. Really, really rough. Like, you can't even put it into words how rough things are, especially for people who are going through experimentation and torture for years and years. I'm getting a lot of and I'll just say it, mind control, neural manipulation, to the point of going on so long that I kind of just forget who I used to be. And then you got to deal with the new world order coming in, all these things being planned for so long, right? For so long. And they're bringing the positive thing is many people are pushing back. I do think the top of the pyramid underestimated people's ability to fight back. I kind of sometimes I'm like, man, I think they factored it in, with all the remote neural monitoring, remote neural monitoring those who are experimented on by directed energy weapons. But how many people in society are remote neural monitored? These people at the top of the pyramid in all these agencies figuring out how people think, long before they push something like this pandemic, and then contact tracing, and then millimeter wave scanners and everything like that. So I'm trying to be positive, right? We got to stay positive. We've also got to look at reality. We've got to look at what's happening and just fight with all of our might. And especially at this time, like, get into your spiritual awakening, get into your spiritual evolution, because something this bad physically and mentally, it's going to push you, and you need to grab a hold of God and the agents of God and strengthen yourself as much as you can spiritually. That's going to be the positive out of this, right? Because it's just coming down. It's coming down in the world. Hey, Wade Vegas. Hey, Sheila. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, PA1. Hey, Badger. What's up, man? Badger says, sup, y'all. Indy Izigui, New York says it's like checkmate. Yeah, I'm kind of seeing that too. I'm kind of seeing that it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of checkmate, and they're rolling these things out. I'm going to show you guys something called the Fabian method and the Fabian Society. And it's how these people at the top of the pyramid, and then it trickles down, right? And they use this Fabian method and on us, on targeted individuals, right? Where it's like kind of cutting off your supply lines and not fighting a war face to face, man to man, balanced. It's this asymmetrical warfare over not just many years, but many generations, right? So it's like people are pushing back, people are going back to work. All right, so it's like this pump fake, right? But these people up at the top of the pyramid are playing this game, and I think it's a game to them. I think genocide is a game to them. They're also playing this propaganda, mind control, complete surveillance of everything. And they don't really, it's like they're thinking generations ahead, right? So if a lot of people in this generation fight back, I mean, we fight back and they're pump faking back and forth, but they're worried about getting all this stuff locked in for future generations. we still got to fight. We're still going to fight. But we'll go through some information. I'll try not to be too depressing. The mind control is severely bad, and yeah, it's like low frequency thoughts that, you know, I'm gonna fight through it, but it's really bad. I think a lot of you guys kind of know what I'm talking about. Hey, Spirit Channel. Badger Report says you're going to be live for very long. Vulcan Wolverine. I was planning on going on live in an hour and 50 minutes. I thought you did Saturday at 7. I thought you did Saturday at 7. That's why I was doing it at like 4:30, so I could go about maybe like 2 hours. We'll try and get through the information fast. Yeah, I knew you were going on at 7, so I was like, well, I'll do like a 2-hour live stream for that. You go on at 6 o'clock on Saturday? I shouldn't be long. Yeah, I shouldn't be long because I just want to go through some information. My attackers are like freezing up my Zoom and stuff like that. So I just want to get through the most important stuff, really. Hey, Carol. Yeah, Bad Report says yes. Understanding the Fabian window by TrueStream Media explained it very well. I need to go look at that. I'll read some of that to you guys. Yeah, Jennifer Burns says 4 thoughts 24/7. Yeah, it's so bad. It seems like Beltane is over, right? It was over May 1st, and we did see a ritual. Do you guys know what it is? Do you guys know what the ritual was? The big ritual. And they're tricksy. They're very tricksy. It wasn't a mass shooting. It wasn't anything like that. It was the Canadian gun ban. That was a huge taking more power away from the people. See, they know that people are onto them. So if they did some huge event on May Day, more people would start looking into Satanism and realize our leaders are very into it. So they did the Canadian gun ban on May Day. And that was a huge part of the ritual right there. PA1 says, hope everyone is doing well. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are just staying balanced. May the force be with you. May the force be with you all in these dark times, right? But I think if we just strengthen ourselves spiritually, get with God, we do the best we can, right? And this guy, I can't remember his channel's name. It's like Tibosaurus Rex. I really like him. I'm going to show you guys some of his videos. But he was basically saying, you know, there's nowhere to hide now. You know, with all this surveillance, and they can even surveil our minds, and they can surveil people's phones and where they are. We've really just got to stand up. We've really just got to stand up. And you know, the top of the pyramid, they like their P's, power, and you know, all these different P phrases. Well, I got 4 R's for you. Reject, resist, rebel, and revolt. Those are my 4 R's, and we have to do those things every day in the face of evil. You know, if we're going to have any chance, and I sure hope we can get our freedoms back. You know, I just, you know, if people could understand how bad it is, and then maybe we could start pushing forward on, you know, hey, there's like mind control, there's like mind reading, there's remote directed energy weapon attacks, you know, and let people know about that. Then I think everybody would get out in the streets. You know, we'll just go through some information. I don't think we're gonna solve the problems in the world on this live stream or anything like that. Yeah, Badger Report said it. The totalitarian tiptoe to the New World Order. It's like a pump fake. It's like, oh, okay, pandemic, everybody goes into lockdown over a 0.1% fatality rate. Oh, you can go back to work, but you're going to have to stay 6 feet apart. We're putting drones out. We're going to have contact tracing apps and stuff like that, which is it's just gang stalking. Like, I'm telling you guys, we are a blueprint. If you look at targeted individuals, we are a blueprint for everything that they're rolling out 100% to the public. So what does that mean? We're seeing the surveillance, we're seeing the gang stalking, we're seeing the isolation, we're seeing all those things. So you know what we're going to be seeing in the next couple of years, which is a silver lining, right? It's a silver lining that in the next couple of years, we're going to see that people understand that the brain can be read. Now, I don't know how long it's going to take, right? I hope that it happens tomorrow, right? I always say that miracles do happen. What I'm seeing with my brain and just what, like, surveying the, what do you call it, the terrain, right? Because we are in a war. I mean, make no mistake, we're in a war. But surveilling the terrain, I'd say, like, less than 10 years, people are going to understand that the brain can be manipulated and surveilled. And I guarantee you that these agencies are speeding things up very fast, and they're going to have some excuse and say we need to look at people's brains, we need to monitor people's brains. And maybe at first they're going to roll it out to the public as something like for pre-crime, and then it's just going to be like, oh well, if somebody has a disease, right? Because I think they're planning these waves of the coronavirus, and then they're planning like waves of other pandemics too. They're like, oh, this is going to be the new thing. The new thing is going to be all these new pandemics rolling out, and they're just going to hit us with wave after wave after wave. ND says, yes, many TIs think it's like the Civil War. TIs on one side and perps on the other when it's more guerrilla warfare. Yeah, I mean, this is it's asymmetrical warfare from the top. And hey, Ann, it's asymmetrical warfare from the top where they're getting like our attackers, right? I have human operators that are remote neural monitoring, remote neural manipulating me, hitting me with external directed energy. And my attackers, I think they started out probably as soldiers who wanted to do good things in the world. But they say this one side, police or military, ex-military agency workers, you need to do this. You need to do this to bring order to society, right? And they get them in the Masons and stuff. Then they start fighting against innocent civilians, and it's just the Civil War, divide, 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 get everybody in society to fight each other. And that's the way they run this asymmetrical war on us. Yeah. And I like that. And Ann says, not getting souls from Vulcan Wolverine room. Yeah, they can never get our souls. They can never get our spirit. And that's one thing that truly, guys, that's something you really need to grasp onto if you're a targeted individual. Grab onto the spiritual, grab onto God, because those things can just give you this strength. I mean, this unbelievable strength. Let's get into some of this information. Spirit Channel says, Kyle, what is scary is that they don't just want to control our bodies, but they want our very souls. Yeah, but I don't think they've got the science yet. If you talk about our personalities, yeah, they can mess with our personalities. What makes you in the physical world? But like the soul, we're talking about something that's beyond frequency and energy. As I think of it, your soul or your spirit, what is connected to God. And I don't think they've hit that science yet. The way that I deal with my attackers and they deal with me, it's like they can really mess with my personality, the way I feel. I guess that'd be emotions too, but just like put me at a very, very low frequency. But then if I'm really in prayer, I'm really in meditation, really imbued with the force, right? May the force be with you. I think it's a good way. I think it's a very good way to look at God, really hook into the light side of the force, a balance in the force. And I don't think they have the science because that's like even past quantum energy. Frequency and energy are like down here, but then we haven't learned the science. And I think the science of like the agents of God, and God is like way, way beyond. And I think I don't even think we'll ever get to that. Maybe, maybe we can understand it, reach for it, but I don't think it can be measured or quantified because it's infinite, And Carla says, that's huge. Jesus. Yeah. Yeah. Pray in the name of Jesus. I do that a lot. And it really gives me a lot of peace, and it kind of settles things down, especially if you have a mantra that you can say in your inner voice. I don't know. I don't agree with you, Spirit Channel, but I'll read your comment. You say, no, they can't actually take our souls, but they want to. Okay, yeah, I agree with that. Not that they will succeed, but how insane that they want to even try. Yeah, I do agree with that. I agree with you. The top of the pyramid in these programs, they want to find out how to just completely control the human being. But there's parts of us that are connected to things beyond even this universe. you know, that are so infinite. And that's the ego. That's the ego of these evil people, to believe that they can be God, that they can control what God created, and they'll never get that far. We'll never let them. You know, God will never let them. Hey Wayne, what's up, man? Hey, I never get notifications from your channel. Like I'm noticing it all other targeted individual channels that you guys come to my chat. I never get notifications from y'all. I'm starting to think that our attackers can actually, like my attackers, my human operators, can go into YouTube and disconnect me manually from other channels so that I don't get notifications. Because we know that like Google owns YouTube, and then Google is connected to all these agencies and even the Pentagon in a kind of pyramidal structure. Like the Pentagon does make decisions about what gets censored. And then they give, you know, our attackers certain kind of, I guess, certain kind of clearances, but they can go into YouTube and do these special. I think they've got connections within YouTube. So Wayne, your channel doesn't suck. Everybody go to Wayne Morris's channel. He's been putting out some great videos. I'm having a lot of trouble, guys. Let's go through this information. I want to make good content, and I really, I'm gonna keep trying. Y'all know I'm gonna keep trying. Just do the best we can, guys. You know. Hey, Carol McDonald says, Kyle, do they read your mind? Do you know about it? Yeah, and Carol, the way that I know is because my voice to skull, like audible voices in my inner ear respond to my thoughts, and they'll actually turn up the pain or turn up the remote neural manipulation, like basically an interference of my mind. If I'm ever thinking like really creative thoughts, or like, oh, I'm going to do this, and I'm having some good ideas, it'll like interfere with my brain so that I can't think and I can't remember anything. So for me, it's like this, what would you call it? It's see, that's remote neural manipulation. I can't think of the word. It's basically just an, what's it? What when you shit, man. It is the V2K lets me know, and there's a word that I was trying to say, but the V2K lets me know that my mind is being read, because they will refer to thoughts that I'm having, visuals, inner voice thoughts and stuff like that. It's been for a long time. It's horrific. I mean, this stuff, like, I can't sit here and even explain how intense and evil this is. And it's gotten to the point where at the beginning, like when I first started making videos, it was a little bit simplistic to where I could really explain, like, okay, well, they put this visual in, they put this inner voice thought in, and then they put an EEG and emotion. The remote neural manipulation has gotten so sophisticated that it's very hard to come in and say, like, oh, you know, just explain it in an easy way, how horrific it is. Like the psychosurgery and the pure evil of this mind control. It's hard to say it in words, you know. Hey, Brian says thought triggered attacks. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Carla says cup of coffee, glass of wine, go smoke, repeat. I'll tell you guys what. That really, I drank, me and my brother, like, he bought me like a 6-pack the other day. I don't drink a whole lot, but I sat there, I drank like 4 beers really fast, and I didn't get drunk, but I like came back to myself, right? And it was sad because, like, and I'm not saying everybody go out and drink, but it does do something to your brain chemistry where it seems to unhook a lot of the automated, like the remote neural manipulation that your attackers have wired in there, and they're looping and stuff like that. When you drink, your brain chemistry changes a little bit, and it brought me back to myself, and I realized like how much damage they've done, how much interference, right? Because I think if they stopped right now, I'd feel a lot like myself. They may have done some damage to my brain and stuff like that, but I'd feel like, I'd be like, oh, you know, I feel a lot more like myself. Brian says R&M system is programmed with hyper game theory algorithms. Oop, let me get back up. Let me get back up there. RNN system is programmed with hyper game theory algorithms to remotely capture random bits of the victim's senses, thoughts, emotions, etc., and then fabricate stories, mental suggestions based on what it captures. Yeah, my attackers have been doing this for so long that it's like they actually will make and it's like I don't even know sometimes if targeted individuals would believe it, because some targeted individuals are at different phases of the remote neural manipulation and the experimentation and the behavior modification. My attackers have gotten so far where they're like sending a signal to my brain, and it's like automated a lot, where it's like my brain is creating the low frequency thought, and it's almost like perfectly matched with like how I would think it. So I mean, this really, I mean, it's so hard, and I think that people who aren't targeted or their mind's not remote neural manipulated, they just be like, well, that's just you being negative, because they've matched the thought, my thoughts, but like twisted them and inverted them to like low frequency thoughts. Very, very sophisticated, so hard to explain. We need documents. We need some more concrete documents on protocols of remote neural manipulation, so that people won't just be like, because you think about it, since time immortal, when people had problems with their minds, it was just like, oh, that's just you. You're just mentally ill or something. Well, now we have people who are externally using electromagnetic fields, electromagnetic pulse to the vestibular system, and then even more advanced things, straight to nanotechnology on neurons, to actually do neural manipulation. And so it's like, if you tell people who they don't understand this, they're just like, oh, that's not really a battle. That's just because you suck. Your thinking's negative, right? So it's like this weird, it's just a very, very weird battle, where I feel like we're not vindicated for how difficult it is for us. Jennifer Burns says, with me, they can block a lot of the effects of alcohol. Yeah, I think they do that with me too, Jennifer, and I don't get drunk. But it seems to do something to my brain chemistry, where it's like I pop back to myself. Like I'm not really drunk, but I just feel like, I kind of feel like myself, because they'll just run my brain, right? They'll just run my brain to where I'm just like, like all these thoughts, and it's like obsessive compulsive disorder, but it's externally created. It's like externally created with remote neural manipulation. Sucks so bad. Brian said, and hey, witness 222. Brian 2 says, any set of brain waves can be remotely captured, held, and perpetually replayed in the victim's mind. Yeah, my attackers do that a lot. It gets very sophisticated when they do it for so many years. Like they do it for so many years, and they're, putting it into an automated remote neural manipulation, one thing interfering with one part of your brain, putting in inner voice thoughts, and then they put in visuals, and it's even more sophisticated than that. And then they get those in and they practice them, because this is their job. The human operators, it's their job. And then you got automated systems that are just doing this stuff and building it 24 hours a day. And then it's super, super sophisticated. It was a lot easier at the beginning, I guess the beginning of the V2K and stuff. But I'm not sure how long I've been remote neural manipulated, but I could just tell, like, it was very obvious, the thought injections. The thought injections were super obvious. And I'm like pretty not self-conscious. I mean, I am a little bit self-conscious, but body conscious, because I had Crohn's when I was little. So I'm pretty conscious of what I think and how I am in the context of the situation. And sometimes I'm just like, I mean, I'm like, I can't tell apart like negative feelings from being tortured and traumatized over decades and what my attackers are actually injecting in. Severe. I just want anybody who's not a target individual, I need to say these things, because it's severe psychosurgery and brain interference for decades with automated systems. And then I have, human operators, but I think some targeted individuals, it's just completely automated, right? Yeah, PA1 says that's really scary, Brian, but I think the technology is that advanced. They've got some advanced stuff. Yeah, Charles Hall says I can't either. It gets mixed in. It's been so long. That's why we just got, we've got to try and block it out. What I was thinking, and let me pull up some information on the screen because we kind of want to get into it here. I was thinking that I might contact, some military agencies like Naval Intelligence, maybe Air Force Intelligence or something like that, because we see that the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing a lot. And I might see there might be some people in these agencies who really feel, man, it's a long shot, right? But there might be some people who really feel honor bound to help citizens, and they might not know so much about that this is being done to citizens, but they might know about the technology, and we could get, some help. I want to show this first, guys. Let me pull up my tablet. The other night, I showed a video from 2009. It was a soldier in 2009 that, was saying that they were planning on forced vaccinations, quarantines, bracelets, and things like that. And I had some questions. People were like, well, that was from 2009. That was H1N1, and it never went through. They never went through with it. But I want to show you guys something. This is from Theresa Tam, and she's like the I guess medical minister. I don't know what it's called in Canada, but she's basically the czar of medicine in Canada. And in 2010, she was talking about bracelets to tell if people had gotten the vaccine or not, right? So I wanted to show that video because it shows that they've been planning this stuff for a long time. My screen is not coming up. And my attackers are just really screwing with my Zoom. It's important information that I'm going to show you. My attackers are they're getting more, they're creeping in more. And they're really trying to interfere with my brain so that I'm just like, man, I don't even know if I can go on to a live stream. And then they're just completely freezing up Zoom. Give me a second, guys. Tanya said that, yes, the same thing down here. I wish people would wake up to this bull. A lot of people they're going to do it even in places where they're still in order not to. So people are fighting back. There we go. So people are fighting back, but I wanted to show you all this. This Theresa Tam. Now this is from Jeff Censored. I love this channel. Please subscribe to his channel. My Zoom is just completely freezing up. Might have to do some shorter videos or I don't know. Just kind of clean my computer out with some virus protection. Hey, Mischievous Sim says having an anti-radiation pin in innate state app makes a huge difference. Hey, what's up, Jeff? Jeff says Wolverine, my brother. How you doing, brother? Hope you guys are hanging in there. Lori Smith says supermoon in Scorpio on the 7th. Did that asteroid already pass? You guys know if that asteroid already passed? Okay, now my whole computer is just freezing up. It's gonna be really frustrating.